Hi everyone, back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We're talking about players linked to the football club in the upcoming transfer window in January. It's a good few months away, but my word, the names are mounting up, especially given Newcastle United's issues with squad depth at the moment. There's massive holes in the squad. A few injuries have unearthed that. If everybody stays fit, nobody's talking about this, but unfortunately, nobody's staying fit at the minute. I think I pulled a hamstring even saying that sentence, to be honest with you. Anyone associated with Newcastle seems to be getting a knock at the moment. So it definitely highlights that we need to fill some key areas in the squad and just add a bit more quality and a bit more depth to it. So because of that, players get linked at all sorts of positions. And now we're going to talk about an attacking midfielder who is versatile and can play either wing as well now. So, we just like to bring these things. It's no ITKs. We're not doing that bullshit. We're just talking about things that have been reported by journalists in the media, on social media. And this is what we're going to do about this particular player right now. We're going to get stuck into it in a second. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, click subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 5,500 subs. Loads of room for you guys here and Evermore. Loads of Newcastle United content, transfer rumour videos just like this, pre-match previews, post-match analysis, rant videos, opinionated videos, all sorts of stuff on Evermore. So a nice plethora of choice for you, all free. So why not watch us, click like and subscribe. Really helps us, helps the channel grow, helps us bring you this great content. If you do fancy it, and you want to give a little something back to the channel, there's a $1.99 membership option there where you get exclusive, viewing to these videos. You get a little early access to them, little premium ticket, like Charlie Bucket and the gold ticket. So it's only £2, well worth it. So why not click the button and come and join this growing family and Evermore. You won't regret it, I promise you. So let's get stuck in. Who am I rambling on about this time? I'm talking about this lad right here. So it's Rayan Cherki, or Cherki, if you want to say that in the old French twang. He plays for Lyon. We like to sign players from Ligue 1. We've had great success with Sven Botman from Lille and obviously Bruno Guimaraes from Lyon previously. So we have been linked to this player before, and it looks like that's not going away. So just a little bit of background on Rayan. He's 20 years old, French international, plays for Lyon. He plays in that kind of number 10 attacking midfield role, really, in terms of the playmaker, making things happen. But he can play either wing. He played for, last season, he played 34 times, got 4 goals and 6 assists. Most of his play came through that attacking midfield berth. He was there 20 times. He played there 5 times on the left wing and twice on the right wing as well. So he is versatile. He can play across the whole front line, and that seems to be what's appealing to Newcastle United. A little bit about the player: very quick, very skillful, really quick feet, likes to get the ball, very close control, moves it from left to right foot, drops a shoulder, quite strong as well in terms of his running style, holding players off. Really mobile, gets involved in the play. Tracking backwise, I've not seen a great deal of that in terms of the footage that I've seen of him. But let us know in the comments below if you think that he does, or if you know anything a bit more about him in that regard. But I think he looks very much to be a difference maker, is how he's been described by the French football pundits, in terms of somebody that can make something happen when games are tight. And I actually think we miss a player like that. I really do. Maxi was a player like that, but at times he would break from shape. He'd be a bit inconsistent. I don't know whether we're just missing that kind of je ne sais quoi, so to speak, talking about French players, where you need that player who can just do something mental that you just don't expect. Like a game against Dortmund where we're getting comfortably beat, strategically outplayed. Somebody just get the ball and rattle one in from 25 yards off the crossbar. We don't have a player like that really at the minute. We've got a real good bunch of players who work hard kind of from minute 1 to minute 90. They have moments, in terms of Anthony Gordon, in terms of Trippier, with his crossing ability, his pace. Isak's probably the only player we've got really with that X factor who can just do something that nobody expects. So we could do with a couple of more players like that, I think, in the squad. The fact the lad's 20 as well, he's got a long way to go in terms of the potential that he could realise. Maybe that's something that's appealing to the club. Probably going to cost you round about 27 million pounds, I think, 30 million euro. So he won't be cheap. But it'll be interesting to see how the club handle the January transfer window. So just before we compare him against Miguel Almiron there, which Mark's pulled up for the radar analysis. So this is what was said by a journalist, which was Ignacio Giannardi, I think it is, on X, as it's called now, formerly Twitter, via Sports Witness. So what he said is that Rayan Cherki was not selected for Sunday evening's clash against Marseille, which, by the way, was fucking appalling. If you saw the poor Lyon coach getting struck in the bus, was just disgraceful. If I'm a player in French football, I probably don't want anything to do with that. I'm probably going to be on my bike. But that's another story for another day. He did say he's under contract until June 2025. Is notably on the shortlist of Newcastle for the winter. mercato, which I don't know if it just means transfer window in that regard. But so journalists know this, that they've obviously been fed some information about that. So there could be a bit of truth in that as well. So let's just have a look how he compares versus Miggy. So 9 appearances versus 14 this season. You can see there, this is just based on this season, as the radar chart will be as well. No goals, no assists for Cherki yet, but 3 goals for Miggy. So he had a little purple patch, but he started to do all right there. So the goals are heavily weighted in Miggy's favour. The XG is round about similar. Shots per game, Cherki's nearly 3 shots a game. So he does pull a trigger, gets 1.05 of those on target. So his goal to shot ratio is 0.06. 0.12 for his assists. His expected assists is 0.37. Pass completion is about 78%, so a little bit behind Miggy in that regard. Key passing, though, he's way ahead of Miggy in that regard, 2.71. So he does slip a lovely through ball through. I've seen some of the footage of him from last season. He gets the ball, he kind of sucks the runners into him. He just slips this beautiful through ball at the striker. So he does look dangerous in that regard. So shot creation chances, are quite high there at 5.58. His goal creation chances are 0.45, so slightly higher than Miggy in that regard. Looking at the red, amber, greens, there's a lot of greens there, but there is a few reds and ambers. So let's take them off straight away. The goals, obviously, he's not scored any goals, this season. So, and he only got 4 last season, in 30-odd games. So that's why he's a little bit down on the goal side of it. His goal to shot ratio, again, is a little bit further down because of that reason, but his shots are quite high in the 94th percentile. Shots on target are up in the 80s. Expected assists and shot creation chances way high in the 90s. Successful take-ons is an interesting one. So successful take-ons, he's 96th percentile. So he's very, very good at skinning players and taking players on, which is what we need really, because I think sometimes we run down kind of dead alleys and don't do that. Gordon's probably the best on the side at doing it. Miggy does all right. Quite often he checks back and he looks at Trippier rather than taking on the full-back, where this guy seems to be able to do that. So that is definitely a benefit. But his crosses aren't too great. They're just over the 54th percentile. His box crosses are quite low as well. But through balls, progressive passing, key passing, box passes, all really high percentiles there. So a very creative player, there's no doubt about that. So shit in the air. He's only a small player as well, but I wouldn't expect to win any heads. He's not that type of player. Gets dispossessed very, very, small in terms of that amount as well. Touches in the box and touches in the area and carries in the area really high as well. So a very positive player who gets on the front foot and wants to make something happen in terms of the final third. And even if he's just a substitute game changer to come off the bench for a Miggy Almiron, and try and make something happen. We need some impact players. We need somebody who can just go boom and make something happen. We don't seem to have that. Joe Willock came off the bench against Wolves. Did a really good job there, but he's working his way back to fitness. We don't have any real impactful players that can change a game on a sixpence. Just do something crazy, throw a full step overs, drop of a shoulder, get inside the box, win your pen, or smash one in the top corner. We don't have players like that, and I really do think that this squad could do with a few mavericks like that. I know we play this really great, structured and detailed and strict kind of team play that Eddie Howe has been so successful at, and I do, and I love it. But sometimes when it ain't working, you just need a bit of a wild card to pull out. I know people will say Maxi in the comments, Maxi, and I get that. I really do get that. But Maxi was incredibly frustrating. A lot of the times those Mavericks are like that. Maybe in hindsight, when we got rid of Maxi, we did lose something different, something special, that could change a game. But Maxi didn't want to be on the bench and come on a bit of impactful play. He wanted to play from the start, but he couldn't play in the kind of world of Eddie Howe. So you need a player who can give you that bit of magic, but can also play in that kind of disciplined role. But when we're fucked and we need a win or need a point, then that discipline will go out the window. Really, you just throw on the Maverick and do something. So I don't know whether that's a player that maybe Eddie Howe has realised we are missing since Maxi left. But let us know in the comments below what you think about that. Whether you'd like Cherki at the club, if you know him a little bit more about him than we do. We'll love it when you drop some comments in there. We always like to engage you and hear what you know about the player. If you're a Lyon fan, if you watch a lot of Ligue 1 football, let us know what you think about the guy. Would it be right for the club? Would it be wrong for the club? It's always good to hear from you guys. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, click subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. Over 5,500 subs, loads of room for you guys. Like the video too if you can. Tell all your friends about it. Why not? Come and watch some great Newcastle United crack. We've got the live show every Monday with me and Mark. We've got the transfer videos like this, previews, post-match analysis, everything you could possibly want in one little small package YouTube channel. So why not click it? If you want to be a member, the option's there too, less than £2. You're more than welcome to come and join the squad. Have a cracking day, everyone. We'll be back with more rumour has it soon. I'm sure they're piling up. And as we get closer to January, there'll be loads of the Mark's computer will be spoken. He'll be doing that many stats. But have a cracking day, everyone. We'll see you later. Cheers. Bye.